Don't forget to check out the Emerald Gore Society's Gorecast for your weekly fill of horror movies, news, game reviews, and short films.
Hello and welcome to AniNightmares on a Friday instead of a Thursday, because we did do the show on a Thursday, but we got copyright flagged, so now we have to redo the show again. So for anyone who watched the show on Thursday, you're probably not going to see anything majorly new. So so sorry about this, guys. I don't know, we put a trailer in and then they evidently didn't want the advertising, so that's it. That's my rant over. That's my official rant done and dusted. So the whole thing with Gantzo, yet again, starts off with a guy named Kato. He's on the way home to visit his brother, whose birthday it is. He's doing the typical older brother thing of pretending he's forgotten the birthday, even though you can see blatantly he's holding a Whopper birthday cake. Monsters are attacking the city, which you see at the very, very start, opening kind of the pre-title credits of the movie, where there are a load of guys who you find out are called the Gants, or the Gants are part of a video game. How describe the opening bit for me there, Carter?
Yeah.
I was saying describe the opening bit there for me. I'm a bit rusty on it.
Describe the opening.
Yeah.
Very opening. I kind of dug it because it starts off like right in the middle of a fight scene. The Gants are already tying up with random monster number 6, but you've got the one guy that kind of gave his life for the team to try to win the match, the game.
Yeah.
So everybody keeps back to their...
Nobu, that's his name. I was trying to think of his name. Nobu, isn't it? He meets an unfortunate death very early in the movie.
Yeah, that's his name.
So it starts off where Nobu's fighting a massive Akuma from Street Fighter-esque kind of demon, big beads on his neck, real ass kicker. He's got wings and things like that. For some obscene reason, Nobu tries to attack this massive monster with just a samurai sword. Needless to say, it goes terribly, terribly, terribly wrong.
I gave him credit for trying, though.
Well, he was the only one, because there's 2 characters you'll get to see later on in the game who are Rika and I think Senpai is the older fella.
Yeah.
With the glasses. So you see the 2 of them who end up. They're kind of like the crew with the main protagonist, as well as Yoshikazu, who out of the initial group of Gants that you meet is the only one that actually seems to know anything about what's going on. So you'll run into those characters later on, but I mean, as we said in the initial show, it has this. I don't know, is it kind of the Eastern politeness or something, but people over this side of the world will be screaming at the screen because they're very, very hesitant on shooting any of these ridiculously large monsters that seem to want to tear the heads off them, which is kind of a running theme throughout the whole movie. But anyway, poor old Nobu meets an unfortunate demise, and Rika and Senpai just take tacky. Then you go into the opening credits, and as I said, you see a young boy chatting to his brother on the phone. The brother being Kato. Well, his first name's Mazaru, but they all call him Kato.
Calling Kato through the whole thing, though.
Yeah. So, as I said, he's got the birthday cake for the brother, and the brother, it's your birthday? I completely forgot it's your birthday. Oh, you rascally scamp. The typical kind of thing. He goes down to the subway to get the train home so he can share a nice bit of birthday pie with his brother. What I'm assuming is some sort of terrorist. You never really get an explanation as to this guy. A guy comes in basically and he's just stabbing and shooting people. Kato, which you'll see is one of his inherent genetic faults in himself, wants to die and will throw himself in front of anything that seems to be endangering anybody else, which is an admirable trait in one aspect, but I mean, as you and I were saying after the movie, you have a 12-year-old brother that doesn't seem to have any parents. You seem to be very willing to throw yourself. But anyway, needless to say, Kato runs in, tries to save some of the people, and meets an unfortunate case, not unlike his friend Nobu, meets an unfortunate demise by the hands of a normal human and multiple stab wounds. Then he blacks out and he wakes up in a big white room.
I was kind of surprised by how quick from the death you get carted over to the room where everybody hangs out at.
Well, the thing with that is the alien overlords, I think, have a lot to do with that. So I'll explain what alien overlords have to do with this later on. But you never really get a time period. So I don't think it's like an instantaneous thing. I just don't think I don't think they know kind of relevant to how long they were gone. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, that was one of the problems I had with the time frame, because you don't know how long it takes, but at one point he talks to his brother on the phone.
Yes, actually.
His little brother's not worried.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a matter of hours.
Right.
It's still the brother's birthday, like, if I remember correctly, because the younger brother had like dinner ready and stuff.
Right, and he just left it on the table with the whole, well, eat by yourself, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, I suppose we'll jump into a quick trailer. Oh, Lord, please let the trailer not copyright flag us this time. We'll jump into a quick trailer here. I'm hoping it's not, because it's on somebody else's page, so I'm hoping that... because it's on somebody else's page, it means that they won't copyright flag us. Fingers crossed, anyway. It's got a different tune in it, which I'm a big fan of, instead of the normal tune. So I'm very, very happy about that. We'll do okay here, and then I need to just shrink this window down very quickly. I know I usually have all of this stuff pre-prepared, but just in case the pre-preparing has something to do with it, just to let them know I'm editing it on the fly. And I'm also going to shrink it down super, super low. And then, yeah, okay. If they have a problem with this, people, I give up. That's it. No more trailers. Ever. That's it. No more trailers ever again. I'm also going to turn the audio down, just in case I get copyright flagged for that as well. Oh, sorry, I tell a lie, actually. It wasn't the big Akuma type demon at the start. It was this is the very first fight you see in the movie.
Oh, that's right. Akuma came up towards the middle of it.
Yeah. It's similar style, though. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of got the big... He has the hair and he's large and muscly and stuff, but the other guy later on in the film is literally, like, virtually a carbon copy of Akuma.
Dude, that's what I liked about this, though. They had just a wide range of imagination when it came to the monsters.
I really like that monster near the end as well. You know, you saw him in the trailer a minute ago, that kind of arachnid minotaur.
Oh, dude, that was awesome.
He is serious. Actually, like, one of the things you have to realize about this movie is if one of the reasons you like anime is for the overblown, crazy, off-the-wall monsters and the overblown, crazy, off-the-wall superheroes, this is right up your street, because the monsters are absolutely astoundingly well done.
Dude, and there's some vicious fight scenes in there, too.
They don't piss about. Once Kato realizes that the suit gives him some super strength and things like that, he really starts busting in there.
No, this one definitely had everything from hand-to-hand, mech fight.
Yeah. Oh, the mech fight was amazing. Headless people, obviously, which is... we've got right there. And that's the end of that chapter. So, we'll just go back here now, and we'll get rid of this little window thing and get that out of the way. Boop, that's gone. So, that was the trailer. The trailer that hopefully didn't get us copyright flagged. Sorry, Netflix, if there's any, I don't know, I give up. Send me a list and tell me what trailer I can use. So, anyway, as we were saying, I'll let you pick it up a little bit. So, if I remember correctly, we had landed in. Kato dies by multiple stab wounds, and he arrives in a big white room.
Right. And unfortunately, he just got ganked from a subway station, so he has no clue what's going on. Wakes up with 4 or 5 people just kind of sitting there staring at him.
Yeah.
And has like maybe 5-10 minutes to try to get his head together before he gets carted off somewhere else.
Yeah, with a very trippy kind of teleportation. It's a much more disturbing kind of teleportation. I put it this way: if I was to pick any way of teleporting, I'm going to go the Star Trek route.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I all disappear and then I all reappear in a place, opposed to watching bits of my hand disappear and then bits of my leg disappear, and then watching
it's so slow.
Yeah,
you're just watching everybody kind of.
It's slow, and at some stage you are standing where your body is in one place and your eyes are in the other.
I mean, for an advanced race, you think they would have a better system?
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, it wouldn't be the fastest way of teleporting, but you only get teleported in before. I suppose, basically, later on in the movie, you find out very briefly, which myself and you had a gripe with. Aliens are involved.
And I didn't even pick that up. I mean, you caught that because I was completely lost on why all this was going on.
It was very subtly and very briefly. I'm talking like one sentence mentioned, and it just happened. It was actually happening during a relatively hefty fight scene as well. It was just whatever way I caught what was said, just kind of clocked with me. But like it was really buried in there. Like you'd swear they were trying to actually skim over it, for lack of a technical term. You'd swear they were kind of, we'll throw it in there so no one can give out saying that we never adhered to the aliens, but we're not going to get into it because they never really seem to get into it through the comics book series or the live actions or any of that.
Well, the mangas, actually, that's how I found out that you were right, was I actually had to delve into the mangas a little bit and
it's too
kind of catch on some backstory for it.
It's two warring alien factions, and not even two warring alien factions. There's all the monsters that are arriving on Earth are one bunch of aliens, and then there's another bunch of aliens that, to the best of our assessment,
off the side.
Yeah, to the best of our assessment, they basically are watching all of this happen like a competition. So not unlike that kind of, if you were to have a monkey with a knife versus a human with no knife, would it be a fair fight kind of thing? The aliens come down and go, these little fuckers down here have a bit of gumption. Might give them a couple. We'll give them some of the old crazy mech stuff there. See how they get on.
Because to the Gantz, it really seemed like they were just playing a video game.
There's time limits. There's time limit. There's time limits on finding the main boss bad guy and killing him. There's points. There's points associated with different types of kills, and the bigger the monster, obviously, the bigger the points you get. The point system then works out. You don't win anything for. You have to get 100 points to win something, and if you get the 100 points, you get 3 options. Option 1 being revive a dead teammate. No, sorry. Option 1 is actually return back to your normal life, and you never have to go back to Gantz again. Because even if you do defeat the monsters, if you don't get the 100 points, or you don't take the option where you can leave Gantz, you will get teleported back the next time the monsters are back. Possibly. There seems to be a lot of different teams, as we saw. So, yeah, there's. What was the next one? Next one then was revive a dead teammate.
That was option 3. Option 2 was to do upgrades.
Oh yeah, and my God, the upgrades are fucking serious,
dude. Because what was that? The Osaka team had like vehicles, bigger weapons. I mean, they had like everything.
And then there was what's his name? Tetsuo.
Okay.
There was
Tetsuo.
Oka.
Because he was the 7-time
Oh
winner.
yeah, sorry, Hachiro Oka.
There we go.
He was the 7-time winner, so he's obviously had like 700 points with 7. He just kept upgrading, and he's got like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger level mech warrior suit.
Dude,
going
because
on.
everybody just stayed out of his way and let him do whatever he wanted to.
Yeah, probably better off, because if you got in his way, he's just going to stomp your fucking ass in. To be honest.
Oh yeah. I mean, he went off on his own, and his team just kind of cleaned up the streets.
Yeah, he did. So anyway, the guys are in the Kato, and you have Senpai, and you have Yoshikazu, and you have Rika are all in the big white room with Kato. As I mentioned earlier, Yoshikazu definitely is the only one that he's the only one that can fight anyway initially, and he's the only one that seems to know anything about what is actually going on. Rika and Senpai are all about survival, so they really don't want to get involved in any of the fights, because you don't necessarily need to kill monsters, you just need to survive the round, and you go back to your normal life for whatever amount of time is in between monster invasions. They don't really get into that either, but it did seem relatively close to each other.
Right.
Just judging by the Nobu death at the start, and then there was no kind of 6 months later or anything like that, so it would lead me to believe it was in a matter of days. And the news reports that were going on were kind of talking like, I can't believe this is happening again already, kind of thing. So they all get teleported down. Then you get to see a relatively useless monster, as in easy kill, but fucking cool looking. She's kind of like a geisha girl version of the evil nurses from Silent Hill, as you aptly put it.
Dude, and she was creepy. I was digging on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded seeing a little bit more of her, to be honest.
Right.
Because she literally one shot to the head, gone.
And like I said, though, I mean, you get such a huge variety. Not all of them are cool like her, but then you've got that one boss mode that morphed into like 3 different bodies, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, the little guy with the massive ears.
Yeah.
He is evil.
I mean, each time he upgraded, it was just something cooler.
Yeah, like the scary thing with him was he was the main boss. He was the main boss, but while he was the main boss, Oka was fighting what had to be about 150-foot Minotaur spider thing that you saw in the trailer earlier.
And I dug that they dragged that out, that you got to watch a long fight between the two of them.
Oh, they don't. They give the fights their fair dues.
Yeah.
They don't try and rush through the fight, like, and not in a boring way either. Like, it's literally chock-a-block full of action.
Because, I mean, there's really little drag or slowdown. Like, it's a lot of action for it.
It's a lot of action. What I always found strange as well was that there was a couple of the guys who, what I never figured out, because all the monsters are actually invading Earth, and all the Gants are out there fighting, but none of them ever seem to be actually trying to save any of the humans until Kato. Kato's the first one that it dawns on him, going, maybe we should try saving some people while we have all these super suits and shit.
Yeah, that Osaka team just seemed like they really enjoyed what they were doing, so they were going for points, upgrades,
and upgrades.
so they keep getting thrown back out in the field.
Points, upgrades, and reviving dead teammates.
Another question I wondered about was, because we know that there's at least 2 teams, the Tokyo and the Osaka.
Yeah.
Is it just them that's getting attacked? Is it worldwide? I was kind of curious about that.
Never gets into it in either of the movies. I haven't got a chance to really go through the manga yet.
Yeah, no, and I'm also kind of curious because there's a 2-season anime that goes along with it.
Oh,
They're
really?
about 13 episodes each that I was kind of wanting to check out to see what they did different.
That's not bad. I must check that out. We might do a different review on that then sometime.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No.
it's back to the kind of the start of it. The geisha girl dies. Then they go off and they. This is where Kato's suicidal selflessness comes into the factor because he no skill. He's barely figured out how to use the weapons. Now, I also the weapons. Don't get me wrong; they're absolutely super serious, amazing looking weapons. They do serious damage, but they have this weird time delay. Not unlike myself and Carter's video at the moment, but there's this weird time delay where you shoot the thing. There's a big kind of, and you see this little distortion bubble, and then there's a good 5 to 10 seconds before the monster explodes.
Now, the guns they start out with, man, I was kind of happy when Kato started looking for an upgrade because the ones he started out with were useless.
They did damage though.
Yeah, but I liked the what was that Bolo one?
The one that the crazy girlfriend. Oh yeah, sorry. They kill your one. They kill the geisha girl. Then a bigger monster comes and Yoshikazu fucks off because Yoshikazu likes to use his invisibility powers and then just kind of hide off in the background and just pop off big guys relatively seamlessly because they can't see him. So he buggers off. Then Rika and Senpai get separated from Kato, and Kato runs into what can only be described as the craziest bitch I've seen in an anime in a while.
Oh yeah.
Her name's Anzu. The reason I'm saying she's crazy is she meets up with she runs into Kato. They have a bit of banter. Then Kato sees a young woman and her son and either an old man or the granddad of all of the people getting attacked by a big monster. He runs in there like a fucking whatever, like a lemming, basically. He runs in there, his weapon's gone and destroyed, so he runs in there with no weapons. Anzu thinks he's the dog's bollocks then, he's like an actual superhero. And then within 15 minutes of meeting him is madly, stalkerishly, madly in love with him.
Oh yeah.
I suppose would be the best.
After walking around making fun of everything that he's doing.
Yeah. And then she died. Everybody that gets into a Gantz suit has died, and they've been like teleported up and fixed by the aliens and teleported back down into this real life video game. She died via a suicide attempt that they handled in a very kind of humorous way, both in the live action movies and in. Do you remember? It's literally like, how did you die? Oh, I tried slitting my wrist. I didn't mean to. It's just like, what the fuck.
Right.
What the fuck? You've been following me for 50 minutes, bitch. I don't even know your second name. Who? No, I won't marry you. Shoot the monster.
But yeah, once them all to move in together.
Yeah.
Be all happy, go lucky.
Yeah. Like she's talked to Senpai and Rika less than she's talked to Kato, and she wants all of them to get a fucking, I don't know, like a fucking condo together, get a timeshare.
Yeah.
She's crazy. Like, don't get me wrong now, there's always the overindulgent kind of love interest or something like that for, kind of like if you look at the 7 Deadly Sins, you have the Diane Maliitis dynamic.
Which worked because that was like a slow build-up.
Yeah. Like Bleach, you have, oh shit, I can't even remember the names of people from Bleach, but you had like, there was the main guy from Bleach and the main girl from Bleach. They had this kind of weird little thing going on as well. But she was exceptionally creepily stalkerish. Yeah, full-blown Klingon. Captain Kirk could be having a fucking conniption fit. Like, full-blown Klingon on the starboard bow.
And useless.
Yeah, relatively useless. No, in saying that, she also has suicidal tendencies like Kato.
Yeah, but she wound up getting in the way more times than not.
Yeah, and then she died. So, Natural selection, I suppose. So anyway, yeah. After a bit of, he basically manages to finally tell her, maybe stop stalking me like a crazy bitch for a while. We got some monsters to kill. They go off to save some more people. The monsters, it's like a really good video game. The monsters get progressively bigger, meaner, harder, and nastier looking. That Akuma monster, I love him. He's brilliant.
Oh, dude, he was so awesome looking.
Oh, he is so freaking cool.
That's one of the reasons why I want to watch the live action, to see if they tried to pull that over.
Yeah. Well, you and I got most of the way through the first live action.
Yeah.
So we're not doing too bad, I suppose. We're not doing too bad. Off the top of your head, if you were to call a monster, who would be the one that rings your digits, I suppose?
Akuma was definitely cool, but I thought third stage Bossman, where he had like the bone spikes coming off of him.
Oh, yeah.
Third or fourth stage, I can't remember, because at one point he had like that cow skull, but it was whatever that last transformation was.
Where he had the big kind of bone wings.
Right, and kind of a Attack on Titan Colossal, where you could see like muscle and everything.
Yeah, he was totally cool. Yeah, he was fucking badass. And he was absolutely it was like the more you killed him, the more he came back bigger, harder, stronger.
Well, it kind of seemed like he learned and then turned it on him.
Yeah, it was very it was very actually Dragon Ball Z-ish, the way the always reminded me of it's gone out of my head. My mate Byron's actually going to kill me now. I should know this. What was the? Did you watch Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
What was the name of the guy? He had like the white body and he had kind of like the 3-finger paws and hands, and he had like purple in his head.
Shit. I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of his name.
Yeah, it's gone out of my head, but it was very reminiscent of that. The way, do you remember the way, like every time you kind of killed him, he came back like 10 levels higher?
Exactly.
Yeah, so there's like this real escalation, and then you do get a nice bit of character development and weaponry upgrades, because even though Kato is only in his first round, people are dying left. I don't know what it is about this round, but these renowned guys that are supposed to be absolutely, legendary killers are getting massacred. Left, right, and center.
Well, I assume that this was like one of the biggest battles they fought, because they brought in 2 teams to try to take on everything.
Yeah. Those guys, the Osaka team, are getting absolutely annihilated, but thankfully for the team that you're kind of rooting for, it plays to their benefit, because Kato, actually being the only one to have any form of Yoshikazu has the same kind of idea as well, that he's literally walking around. The minute he sees a dead body, he's like, okay, there's obviously some fucking big gun floating around here somewhere.
Dude, he's scavenging anywhere he walks.
We're going to cut away to a quick advert from our sponsors at the Emerald Gore Society and Hart D. Fisher's American Horrors, available on Roku. All night, all day, 7 days a week, all horror, American Horrors. I remember the whole line. That's cool. So we'll cut away to a trailer very quickly, and then we will be back to talk about a little bit more of GANTZO.
I'm so fucking bored. Weird. Welcome to the new American Horrors channel on Roku. Streaming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all night, all day, all horror. Hi, I'm Hart D. Fisher. As owner and operator of the world's greatest uncut 24 hours a day, 7 days a week horror channel, American Horrors, it's my job to let you know that I'm choking to death on this smoke. Okay. We're still rolling, right?
Enough of that. There we go. Sponsor ad done. That's out of the way. Oh, yeah, that's cool. I don't know why it started playing again there. Anywho, cancel that. And then we just back. There. And we're back. Excellent. Good times. Okay, so where will we pick up from, Carter? We've been jumping all over the story.
Yeah. Oh, ending.
Oh, don't get me started on the ending.
Now, by no means does this ruin the movie, because I've now watched it twice, because it is an awesome movie.
I will 100% agree with you.
But the ending, it didn't ruin it for me. It's just not what I would have wanted.
They fucking fluffed out.
Fluffed it?
They fluffed out at the end, to be honest.
Yeah. Everything was just too wrapped up in a nice, neat bow.
I wouldn't even call it. I would agree with you. It was wrapped up in a nice, neat bow, but it was also a very not well explained, nice, neat bow. There's a lot of time inconsistencies, I suppose, for want of a better description.
And I was okay with it throughout the film. It just, when they wrapped it up, time-wise, it really mattered.
Yeah.
From the way we're talking as a team to him running home to his brother.
Yeah, because, as I said, they started off with 4 people on the team. Thanks to Kato, all 4 people do make it back from the end of the round. So there's 4 people from the team. Then, for some crazy reason, we're going to have to jump back again a little bit. For some crazy reason, Kato ignores all of the blatant obvious signs that Anzu is an absolute stalker, possible rapist, serial killer, and falls also madly in love with her. Now, in saying that, in the girl's defense, she did literally throw herself out in front of him like a human shield, which is why she died.
Sure.
So, don't get me wrong, even if I didn't want to hook up with the stalker bird, I probably would bring her back myself out of common courtesy. You know, it's the least you could do.
It was that good guy.
Yeah, so he makes the 100 points because everybody else from the Osaka team got absolutely annihilated. Young Rika and old Senpai, I think, only killed about a half a monster between the two of them.
Right.
Anzu died, so she made no points out of the round. And Yoshikazu was doing relatively well and then got shot up and lost an appendage or two.
Yeah, he lost that arm about midway up.
Yeah, he lost a good chunk. It was like the whole... don't get me wrong.
He was out of the game after that.
He was out of the game. No, he wasn't out of the game because he was still alive.
I just mean like he wasn't able to really help after he got hit.
No, he was too busy bleeding on the floor. I will agree with that, yeah. So there was those 4. Then Anzu gets brought back to life. Call that 5 for his second round. It cuts back to then. There must be about 20 or 30 of them.
Oh, dude, he's been busy at this point.
He's been a busy little bastard. Because Kato, as I said, has absolute disregard for his guardianship responsibilities for his younger brother, seems to have no problem just disappearing off for random days at a time, fighting all these monsters and leaving his 12-year-old brother, or he could be a 20-year-old brother by now, because you actually don't have a clue how much of a time frame there is between Anzu getting brought back to life and all of the rest of it. But he's brought 30 people back to life, and it eventually gets to a stage. This is where myself and Carter had the fucking wrap it up in a bow, why don't you? But he's about to bring someone back to life, and one of the people out of the crowd finally grabs Kato by the shoulder and goes, "No, you have a family to get back to. Go back to your brother. I'll revive the next one." Because they're doing this kind of endless cycle of, revive. It does say a lot for the people in the game that it took 30 of them before someone went, maybe we should let this guy go home to his brother. There was at least 3 triad-looking fellas there. There was the big guy. Why didn't you bring the big guy back? He was fucking useless. Bring the big guy back and then get him to fucking bring someone back. Move on home.
Right.
Move on home. Anzu gets out of the game. If you remember correctly. And they kind of... And Anzu is out of the game, because remember when he leaves the game, you see him kind of heading back to the house, and Anzu and the brother are there. Or does he get back to the house and the house is empty?
We don't know, because he kicks open the door and we just in onto his face.
Yes.
Because that was where we were like, okay, so what time frame are we looking at?
Yeah. Is the brother even there?
Does come and take his brother? Is he 30?
Yeah. Because it's hard to tell, because you don't know what's going on because of the alien factor then as well. Or, like, is he going to be aging? Does he not age while he's doing the Gantz stuff?
Right.
You know, because, like, for instance, Yoshikazu, as we said, he lost, like, a good 25% of his body, but when he got... Because he technically survived the round, when he wound back up in the room, all his arms were back.
No, I would have been fine if they'd ended it with, you know, like, him trying to bring everybody back and them going, hey, man, it's time for you to go home. Oh. If they hadn't put in that whole him running home, I would have been okay.
Yeah. It would have been... They'd have had to do a cut to black, though.
Right, which I would have been okay with.
I don't know. It would have been an all-right ending. It felt like they'd wrapped it up in a very Disney-like bow at the end. You know, everyone's all holding hands and singing Kumbaya. But it was a definitive ending. And then they have you run back to the house where there's still this kind of not even worthwhile cliffhanger left. Because to be blatantly honest, I'm only pointing out about his blatant disregards towards his guardianship responsibilities, because these are the type of things that this weird brain picks up on. But other than that, I couldn't give a fuck about the brother. Not trying to sound like an asshole or anything, but the brother literally plays zero part in the movie whatsoever.
Well, and I mean, they showed him calling him during a fight.
Yeah.
So he could be taking care of him that way, like, hey, man, go stay over here or something.
Yeah, but like, just give me something. Because he finds out during the fights that he's able to run home if he needs to.
Did you catch that line where they were like, oh, hey, he doesn't remember he's been here before for Kato?
When he died initially?
Yeah. Apparently that wasn't his first time.
I missed that.
Yeah. They were like, oh, you know, he doesn't remember, but it's still the same him, always trying to save lives.
But that bugs me even more now.
Right. So that led me to believe that as long as the game's going, you die in real life, you can get sucked right back in. You just don't remember it because they wipe you out when you score your 100 points to go home.
Oh yeah, that's something actually. The reason that would happen would be because the aliens, in all little direct dialogue that they seem to have with the competitors, they all seem to know it's basically like Alien Fight Club.
Yep.
If you're in the Gantz, don't talk about Gantz.
Because there's a kill switch to you if you do.
Yeah. You just turn into a big puddle of mush.
But yeah, no, that was one of the lines that caught me, like, right as he was running out the door, and I was like, wait, what?
We're going to take... I'm going to pull up... Will we talk about the live actions a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Because I won't lie to you, I was actually more impressed with the live action. Nothing, as I said, yet again, nothing wrong with the Gantz anime itself. I just... The ending just left a sour taste in my mouth on what was otherwise a very, very good movie. Not that it ruins it, but...
Now, like I said, I didn't get a chance to finish the live actions, but from what I saw, everything looked really good. Like, I got to see some of the weapons. I got to see the suit power up to
the weapons
give him, like, body shields.
What I liked about the... What I liked about the Gantz... window capture, that's the one. What I liked about the Gantz live actions were that they paid as much homage, detail, and budget into the costumes and the weaponry on the monsters as they probably did in equivalency for the live action or for the anime.
Now, for anybody that doesn't know, though, the live actions cover the same story as the CGI that we're reviewing.
Yeah, better though. You get a better story.
Well, right. And the cool thing is there's two of them, but
same movie.
In movie 2 are the same story, but from two different angles.
Yeah, so there's a reporter that's got wrapped up in the mix of all the monster madness, but he's not actually one of the Gants, but he ends up kind of having to run with the Gants, a pack of Gants that, obviously because he has no weapons in the place, is invaded by 100-foot monsters all over the place, so find anyone with weaponry. But it basically, it's during the exact same attack on Tokyo, but from the reporter's side of the story. So it gives you, it actually fills in blanks from the movie 1. And the movie 1, if you are able to remember back to it, fills in some blanks from the movie 2.
Which I thought that was a really cool idea.
And there's little crossover scenes, like there's even bits where you can see the fight that you would have seen in movie 1 happening further away while the guys are fighting other monsters. It's all very integrally tied in together.
Nice.
I like that, which I like. It's trying to carry out storyline continuity that in depth throughout 2 separate live action movies is difficult enough. To do it so coherently and so well as they did through Gantz O and Gantz 2 was impeccable storytelling, in my opinion.
I kind of dug the fact that they released both movies in the same year, so you didn't have to wait for it.
6-month period, I think.
Yeah, first movie Gantz was released in January, and then Gantz Perfect Answer was released in April.
It's very good. We'll throw on the Gantz trailer here on the little window down here. So you saw the other trailer, so you'll be able to kind of get a gist for the quality to attention of the outfits and the weaponry and everything like that. Slightly different start to this one, but that could be because I feel like the anime seems to have mashed the two of these together. Because, strangely enough, for a change, the anime actually came out after the live actions.
Dude, and they ported over everything from the movie to the live action so well.
Yeah. So at the start of the Gantz movie, it's actually Kato and Nobu who who dies at the start of the anime. It turns out that they're actually friends. Sorry, savage jump. Yeah.
That's right. The live action stuck a little bit closer to the manga.
Yeah, so instead of it being Kato on his own going home to the brother for a birthday party, or sorry, not a birthday party, but like have the birthday cake and all that, it's he runs into Nobu in the train station. They were friends from school, but they hadn't seen each other in a while. Someone falls onto the train tracks. Kato runs down, as Kato is one to do, and throws himself onto the train tracks and gets your one up. Then
Nobu did it.
Oh, sorry, Nobu did it. Then
he was for help, and everybody was just standing there staring at him.
Yeah, then he gets your one out of there. Then Kato goes to help Nobu by pulling him up, but Nobu ends up inadvertently pulling Kato onto the train tracks, and then, not unlike Scary Movie.
Right.
So, yeah, and then that brings you back to the same room, and it's pretty much the same characters then, except that Nobu's in the mix as well. But you have Senpai, it's Rika. No, sorry, Rika isn't in there. It's Senpai, Nobu, Anzu, who shows up in the nip. There's a kind of a hard arse triad guy that's in there at the start of the live action instead of what just looks to be a big, large, muscle-bound jock in the anime movie. Yashikazu's in there. Kato. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, there's like one extra guy in there, Nobu, who in the anime was previously deceased by the time any of that happened. Although this could be, as you said, there was a reference to the fact that Kato had been in there before, but he'd got memory wiped or brain whammied or whatever you want to call it. So this could actually be before he wound up back in Gantz.
Right.
It's one of my issues with the anime. You kind of don't know exactly because they've kind of taken bits and bobs of the story and thrown it together. You're not exactly in the overall storyline of the Gantz universe. It's very hard to distinguish where in the overall story Gantz, the live or the 3D animation, lands. In my opinion.
Now it does say that it covers the Osaka arc from the manga.
Yeah.
If that is anybody.
Yep. The which? You broke up there.
The Osaka arc. The Osaka arc.
What's that again?
The CGI covers the Osaka arc of the manga.
Okay, sorry. What else? The monsters in the live action are absolutely fantastically done. I really like the fight scene with the onion monster guy. He'd be like the first main monster you fight. It's what you get for killing his little onion child, in my opinion, because I know he was a monster, but he was cute as chips.
Didn't you felt bad for him?
He
was scared.
He literally he just wanted to eat some fucking onions, man. He wasn't hurting anybody. Now, in saying that, hard to say, would the dad not have hurt anybody had the kid not got blaster whammied? I don't know, because they did have a very unfortunate time frame where they literally had just blown his child up as he'd walked in the door, so he literally saw it all happen.
Right.
So I thought the fight with the big, the massive Buddha at the end of it was very, very well done, and the CGI was done very well. They didn't have that kind of shitty clay putty kind of look to them or anything. They looked, the generated lighting on them and everything looked like they were standing in the city.
They were doing a 3D CGI for that.
Or which?
3D CGI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Savage. So, anything else we need to cover on Gantz?
If you're a big enough fan and you can hunt for it, there's apparently a video game that came out in 2005, but it never made it overseas. They only released it in Japan.
It's probably based on the anime series.
Yeah, it was a first-person kind of role-playing shooter, apparently.
First person?
Yeah.
Jesus, I wouldn't fancy playing that.
Released for the PlayStation 2.
I wouldn't fancy playing that in first person. I'd say you'd have a fucking... If it's half like the movies, you'll have an anxiety attack by lunchtime.
Okay.
I would put on the video game trailer, but is it Bandai did the game?
Konami,
they'll copyright block us. So make sure to go check out the trailer. Make sure to go check out the trailer on YouTube. I'm sure it's there somewhere. If the animation and it's half as silky smooth as the actual video or as the actual 3D animated movie, you're going to be in for a treat. I think myself and Carter might try and source out the Gantz TV series anime. So there's 26 episodes altogether.
Right. Season 1 was the first stage, and Season 2 went by the second stage.
Okay, I wouldn't mind seeing those, because I feel in 13 episodes I should get some of the answers that you and I are fucking craving.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to see me come on my own, or possibly with Carter, and you're going to get an unmerciful Gantzo rant out of me about don't watch it, because it's like Lost. 20,000 questions, no fucking answers.
Yeah, the anime came out in 2004.
Anime was 2004. The live actions were 2011 and 2012, respectively, because one was before Christmas, one was after. And the anime that we're speaking of is 2014, even though it's only landed on Netflix in the last 3 weeks. Or 4 weeks, possibly.
Right.
It's definitely within the last month, anyway.
So now, for any fans, there's plenty of stuff to keep you busy if you really want to dig into some Gantz.
Yeah, monsters good, action good. If you watch the anime show, you're going to be left with a thirst, like myself and Carter were, which is how we ended up going finding all the live actions and stuff, because it was like, they're bound to answer some fucking questions. Nope.
Okay.
So now we're going to possibly, it won't be soon, because I'm all Gantzed out now for a bit, but in a month or 2 or 3, we'll revisit Gantz via a TV series. And hopefully we'll have loads of questions for you. I'll have a clipboard, I'll be wearing a science jacket, I'll have analytical breakdowns, I'll have different quadrants where the aliens came from, all of this kind of thing. I'm going to find the people who made the story, and I'm going to get them to give me my answers, period. For you or viewers at home, and things of that nature. So I think I'm pretty much all talked out about Gantzo. You?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only thing I can say is if you haven't seen it, go check it out.
It's all of the gripes that myself and Carter have mentioned do not take away from a seriously brilliant live action and a seriously brilliant action-packed 3D animation. It's just you will possibly feel a little bit meh at the end of it about the ending, but it will just be 5 minutes at the end of the movie. Other than that, it's absolutely impeccable.
Oh, yeah.
So on that note, we will be back not next Friday, we'll be back next Thursday, unless they fucking copyright block us again. Then we'll be back whatever day we shoot it. But the plan will be to be back next Thursday, 2200 hours GMT, and at 1400 hours. Is that right? 1400 hours CST?
I believe so. Let's see.
No, sorry. 1400 hours. We're 6 hours ahead of you in Ireland.
22 GMT, 16 CST.
16 CST. Perfect. So, and then anybody else in America who's in different time zones, you can figure it out from there. You're either an hour ahead of that or an hour behind that. Or you're that. That's it. So anyway, 22 GMT, 1600 CST. Next Thursday, we're going to be talking about... What were we going to talk about again?
Thought we were doing Doomed Megalopolis.
Doomed Megalopolis. Thank you very much to Giz from the Gorecast for digging out that absolute little gem. It looks so tasty. Bit of old school manga, proper back in the 80s old school manga. So from myself, Johnny Deadly, and from Michael Carter, who's over here. That's Michael Carter over there. We're going to say goodbye from AniNightmares, and we'll catch you all next Thursday. AniNightmares out.